How y'all doing? Welcome to NASCAR Trackside Live.
Hello, everyone. Thanks for sticking around. My name's Amy Long.
And I'm Jose Castillo. We're so glad you're here. How about it? New Hampshire Motor Speedway, NASCAR New England style.
Yeah, it is.
We love hanging out with you guys, and that's why we get to bring the show to you, NASCAR Trackside Live. We love it so much for you guys, the fans.
Yes, it's so great to see all of you out here and everyone on the other side of the screen on NASCAR.com. Hi, everyone on NASCAR.com. Great to see you. Now, remember, at any time during our show and for tomorrow's show, you can get involved and tweet your questions, tweet your pictures. Just use the hashtag NASCAR Trackside and get involved in the show.
That's right. So if you want to get involved, you can do that. But guess what? It's a special edition. How many of you were here in July? We had NASCAR Trackside Live Prime Time. So tonight we brought it back for you. What does Prime Time mean? We got a special couch. We got special guests. We're going to hang out and chill. I know. It's going to be great. So we got Marcus Smith coming back to join us as a co-host.
Yes.
And we have a very special Speedway Children's Charities auction as part of it. So make sure you get registered to bid. And we've got a couple items we're going to actually bid for during the show.
We do. Who's registered already? Who's registered to bid?
I like it. I love it.
I see all
bid
these
early,
tickets.
bid often.
Remember, you have to be registered to bid. And I saw some pretty cool stuff over there.
That's right. All right. Well, let's take a look at our lineup for tonight's episode of NASCAR Trackside Live Prime Time. Joining us here on the stage, we will have special host Marcus Smith.
Woo!
Then joining us will be Dale Earnhardt Jr. Also currently in the lead, we love this guy right now, Martin Truex Jr. And, of course, coming in, Aric Almirola as well is going to be stepping up here on the stage. And remember, don't forget, we also have a huge show for you on Sunday. That's right, tomorrow, 10:30 to 11:30. So, fans, do you guys want to have some fun tonight here at NASCAR Trackside Live Prime Time?
Yeah, I think they do.
Well, come on. I need y'all to make some noise. Help me out here.
It's nice. That's
You know what? Let's see who we got here. Who we got here,
I think
Amy?
we know who she's interested in seeing tonight.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. A little Dale Jr. doll.
Dale
That's
Jr.
so cute.
And what about you?
How you doing? What's your name there, buddy? He's
She's
very
like, I'm just
excited.
here for the show. I'm just here for the
know.
show. Don't bother me anymore.
What about you, man? What's your name? Where are you from?
I'm Becky, and I'm from Bristol, Connecticut.
Becky. How about y'all give it up for Becky? Come on, make some noise.
Oh, what's this we
Who
have
else
over
was it?
here?
Yeah, come on in here.
Wow. This
Look
is
at
a
this
ton
banner
of
right here.
signatures.
I love that.
You want me to sign it too?
Oh, look at that. Amy getting into a little autograph right there. I love it.
Oh, all right. Okay, then Jose, you're next, right?
Oh, really? All
what's
right.
your
I'll do one more
signature?
signature, and then we're almost ready for our Speedway Children's Charity auction. So, all right. Let me get my little autograph here. Here we go. Boom. There we go.
Thank you.
Very
Thanks
cool.
For making us a part of this.
Appreciation Nation there for Dale Earnhardt Jr. Very cool.
Yeah.
Thanks so
All right.
much, guys, for being here. We got a great crowd tonight, Jose.
We do. They're pumped up, and it's NASCAR Trackside Live Prime Time.
Prime
So
time.
we have a very special guest to welcome to the stage. Speedway Children's Charity does amazing things across the country and at each individual track. These dollars are spent on kids and organizations that need that, and it is really, really special to bring them up here on stage as part of the show tonight. So if you would, please welcome our auctioneer, Rafe Foreman. Rafe, come on down.
This is pretty incredible. This is a legit helmet.
This is seriously the real deal.
I know, the real deal. Hey, Rafe.
Rafe, how you doing?
How's
to
it
have
going?
you.
I'm good, Amy. How are you? Thanks, Jose.
Thank you guys so much. So what have we got tonight, and what are we going to auction off?
We have got Dan Connor in the maintenance department here at New Hampshire Motor Speedway has collected these lug nuts from this track, and he has made this beautiful welded piece of lug nut art in the form of 88. So we all know who that is.
I love it. That's very cool.
And I noticed it's signed over there, too.
And Dale signed it yesterday. I appreciate you mentioning that the charity made the contribution. Dale came and he signed this yesterday. We also have an original piece of art that was painted by, let me just get her name right, Jen Howland.
Awesome.
Painted this
That's beautiful.
Original piece of art. Where else can you go in the world to get an original Dale Earnhardt Jr.? And then we've got his helmet.
I love that.
He signed the helmet yesterday. Isn't that a great piece
That's
of art?
beautiful.
Beautiful.
That's beautiful.
What do you say
So,
we get this?
yeah, let's
picture?
start off.
Are
What
you guys
would
ready
you
for
like to
this?
start off with?
All right, let's go. I'm going to ask Ryan to come up here and hold this. Ryan and Mike are going to help me. Now, here's the way we're going to go, Jose.
All right,
and
we're going to
Amy.
help you out.
I need for you to have a bidder card. If you got a bidder card, raise it up.
Oh,
all right, we got a few bidders. Okay, if you don't have
yours is
one,
backwards. I can't read yours.
we need you. We need you to go get one. The first thing we're going to sell is what Ryan is holding. It's the lug nut artwork, and all of the proceeds tonight go to the Speedway Children's Charity local chapter right here at New Hampshire Motor Speedway. So here's the way we go. Highest bidder gets to take it home. Who'll start me off? Anybody got an opening bid? Somebody open it up. $50, $100 now. 200 of the bid. Here we go. 2 where? I got 100 of the bid. Here we go. 200 of the bid. Here we go. 3. 300 of the bid. Here we go. 4. 400 of the bid. Here we go. 5. Now, if you don't have a bidder card, I need one. I got 400 on the right. I need 5. 400 of the bid. Here we go. 5. We'll go 5. 400 of the bid. Here we go. 500. I got 400 of the bid. Here we go. 5. Let me just tell you, you can walk around the world or fly around the world. You'll never see another one like it. This is a unique original.
It's beautiful.
I got 400. The man in the back, I need 5. I'll take 450. 400 of the bid, here we go, 4.5. I got 450, here we go, 5. 4.5, here we go, 5. We'll go 5. 5 of the bid, here we go, 550. He's in, you're out. Thank you for playing. I got 550, here we go, 600. 5.5, here we go, 600. Where? I got 5.5, here we go, 600. Where do you go? 600. 5.5, here we go, 6. We'll go 600. Now 6.5. 600 of the bid, here we go, 6.5. We'll go 6.5. Here we go, 6.5. I got 600 of the bid, here we go, 6.5. How about 880?
Oh,
that's got a nice ring to it.
I like that.
I got 600. You're still in the money. 600, now 7. You want to go 7 to help the charity? I don't. Yep, 7.
Go,
now
700.
800. 7 of the bid, here we go 800. 7 of the bid, here we go 8. Here we go 8. I got 7 of the bid, here we go 8. 7 of the bid, here we go 800. I got 700 going once. I'm going to sell it. I got 700 going twice. I sold it to you, sir, for 700. That's number.
Yeah.
Congratulations. Beautiful piece.
Bidder number 127, Paula. 127 for 700.
Awesome. Well done.
Nice.
Well, I think we've got time for maybe one more.
Yeah.
Thanks, Jose.
Let's do it.
Okay. This original piece of art is painted by Jen Howland right here at the track. It is and Dale signed it yesterday. It's got Dale's original signature on it. It's an original all on canvas.
She's pretty talented. That's an amazing piece of art.
I thought it was pretty cool too. Dale signed it yesterday. It doesn't look like him. It doesn't look like you either. I need a bid. Somebody go with 100 on the bid. Anybody got 100? 100 on the bid where? I got 100 on the bid. Here we go 2, now 3. 300 on the bid. Here we go 4. We'll go 4. I got 300 on the bid. Here we go 4. 300 on the bid. Here we go 400. How many of you have an original Dale Earnhardt piece of art in your house? Nobody. You got a print. That's original. There's not another one like it. I got 300 now, 3.5. 300 of the bid, here we go 3.5, now we'll go 4. 3.5, here we'll go 4, we'll go 4. I got 300, half, we'll go 4. 350, here we'll go 400, where? I got 3.5, here we'll go 4, we'll go 4. Sir, are you bidding or are you just happy to see me? I got 3.5, here we'll go 400. 3.5, here we'll go 4, we'll go 4. I got 350, here we'll go 4. 350, all in, all done. I got 3.5 going once. I got 3.5 going twice. I sold it to you, sir, for $350. That's number 133.
Nicely
133
done.
for $350.
Congratulations.
Guys, thank you so much.
Yes.
And thank you to everybody who helps out Speedway Children's Charities. Rafe, thank you. And make sure they stick around after the show,
Now
right?
stick around. We have 70 items, including a ride-along with Dale Earnhardt Jr. and this helmet right here will sell tonight. So come on and stay with us.
Awesome.
Thanks,
Thank you so much to Rafe.
Thank
Big
you.
round of applause.
Thanks, Jose.
Thank you.
Speedway's Children's Charities. A huge opportunity to have them here tonight as part of the show.
It really is. Hey, Jose, speaking of the show, what do you say we get this show on the road?
I think it's time. Fans, what do you think?
Guys? Yeah? Let's go ahead and welcome our very first and very special guest. Without him, all of this would not be possible. He is the CEO of SMI. His name is Marcus Smith.
Come on out.
Hey.
Marcus, how you doing?
Hey guys, how's it going?
Doing great. Come on out here with us.
Good
Say
to
hi to these
have
fans
you
out
here.
here.
What's up?
Hey.
Look
What's
at that.
that?
I
What's
like
up, man?
that hat,
Hey,
man.
guys.
It's sharp.
Yeah.
Looking good.
How are y'all doing?
Oh, look at that. Hey, we got some cheering going on from the trucks
Yeah,
going
we got
by.
the trucks coming in.
I
Good
like
stuff.
that.
Good stuff.
Well, talk a little bit about the show, because this is our second NASCAR Trackside Live prime time.
Yes, I love it. I love it. So, you guys, any of you around here for the speed shows that we have, the speed stage and trackside? We're bringing it back. You guys are part of it. Yeah. Awesome. It's so great to have you guys here. Trucks pulling out. What a great day racing today. You know, it's so
been
great.
amazing.
The weather has been perfect. A little bit hot, but now the sun's going down. But this show is all for you guys. This is all about the fans. We've got a great lineup of drivers coming out, as you've already covered. We've got Martin Truex and Dale Jr., Aric Almirola. Let's hear it.
Yeah.
It's going to be awesome.
And we got Jose and Amy here to help guide us through the whole show.
Hey, guys.
And we're going to be
Great
taking
here.
your questions, so make sure you get a question sent out either on hashtag NASCAR Trackside, or we'll come out and actually get your fan questions. So,
Absolutely.
guys, what do you think?
Marcus, did you see that Dale's already here? He's out there in the crowd.
Oh, there he is. Look, with the Caesar cut.
That's the frosted
Yes,
tips,
classic,
Dale.
The classic Caesar cut, frosted tips.
Just a little throwback.
I like it. I like it. All
Just
right.
a little throwback.
Talk a little bit about New Hampshire and NASCAR New England style, because we talk about the hardcore New England race fans and how awesome they are, how passionate
There's
they
some
are.
of them here right now.
Yes.
Yeah, you got it. All right. So I know one thing. There's a lot of modified fans out here, right? Yes. Did you guys hear our announcement about bringing back this big modified spectacular weekend for next year? Isn't that going to be great? We're so excited about that. It's going to be a great addition to bring that to the fall next year. And today is the kind of day that's built for race fans. We had so much racing today. The sun's going down. The racing just now stopped. And you know, New Hampshire, the Magic Mile, we've been coming up here a long time, and people love it. NASCAR fans, when the NASCAR family that comes up, a lot of us are coming up from the Charlotte area. We love coming up to New England and just enjoying your country. It's great for us. We always enjoy it. It's one of those fun things. So it's good to be here.
It's beautiful. Well, Marcus, it is time to welcome our first guest, and to do that, we put together a very special video for you guys. Let's take a look at this person's first time here on New Hampshire Motor Speedway.
Earnhardt Jr. right now, his car is very, very quick in the corners. That car is dynamite.
There's a good battle for 7th now. Dale Earnhardt Jr. trying to make the move around the 37 of Mark Green. Tried him outside, tried him inside. This is Dale Jr.'s first time to race here, isn't it?
It sure is, Eli. This is also one of Dale Jr.'s first starts in a drop snout car. He's taking a few laps to get used to the car.
There's Dale Earnhardt Jr. Remember when he got on the tail end of the lead lap? And now he's just pulling away. He's got clear sailing, clear track ahead of him. Earnhardt in 10th, just ahead of them, the 52. Rubb is on the lead lap.
Seems to me right now that Earnhardt, he's running a drop snout car so it makes it turn better, getting in the corner, also in the center. You can see Earnhardt got a little sideways just then. It turned a little too well in the center part of the corner. 10 feet will gained about 4 car lengths on him.
Dale Earnhardt Jr. is 10th.
Whoa. Surprise entrance. Surprise entrance. Whoa. Wow. You just like sneak attacked us. Hey, it's great to have you here. Right ahead. I was not expecting that. You just they don't need an introduction, that's all. Welcome to NASCAR Trackside Live. It's your first time on the show, right, Mark?
What's up? Thank you.
Are you good?
We got it here.
Are we on? Yeah.
All right.
You're on.
We're on.
We're on. We're live. We're
I
live.
I was telling
How
Martin.
about that, guys? I know. I'm still trying to catch my breath also. I wasn't expecting that. I thought that we were going to like
Me and
Yeah,
Martin,
me
saw
too.
these things.
Dale jumped the gun.
me and Martin were watching that video, and I was like, I don't even remember racing Xfinity cars here.
It's
That was had to have been 1998 or 99. I don't remember.
it hadn't been that long ago. It doesn't seem like, right?
Yeah. How did we do?
They say once you hit
You did
40,
great.
you start forgetting stuff.
I know. Getting up there. You're just right, but you're right behind me. You're not very far.
Couple of years.
Yeah,
couple
that's
years.
right. That's right. A couple grays sneaking in there. Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
he's
Let's
got a
leave
lot
that
more
out of
gray
there.
than I got.
Yeah, there you go.
Must
So
not
this has
have
been a fun week and a lot of fun going on. We Martin and I were just saying we were at your charity event the other day, and we had a good fun in Charlotte, and then we went over to Bass Pro in Springfield and saw some amazing stuff over there. You guys got to see the president.
A couple of them.
It's been amazing. Yeah, a couple of them. Been an amazing week. And now we're here in New England, get to hang out with you race fans and put on a good race. This is great. So I wanted to ask you guys, this is a pretty amazing thing, y'all. We were in Charlotte, and we went to this place called the Music Factory in Charlotte. Dale Jr. has his charity foundation that raises money to help a lot of kids in different areas. And Dale, would you just tell a little bit about what you do with the foundation? And we had a great time hanging out with you and Amy and everybody, all of our other friends there.
Yeah, it's a great opportunity to get together and have some fun, but raise some money too. We, both me and Martin have foundations that work year round and raise a lot of money. Hell, we both put a lot of different programs together, and we each both have an event that we kind of celebrate the foundation and what it does, and we also get everybody together that has a lot of money in their pocket and try to raise a lot of money all in one swoop. And we have our we usually just kind of have a dinner and a little discussion and video, show people what we're doing and what we did this year or the past year. And then we have a comedian that comes on, makes everybody laugh. And this particular year, Martin was in tears.
I'm laughing just thinking about the guy and what he was saying.
Was it because he was,
hilarious.
Was it because he was from up where you're from?
Yeah,
Did you really get his humor because y'all are from the same town pretty much?
Well, not really pretty much, but he's from Philly, so.
All right.
He was hilarious.
So is that why it was so funny to you?
No, it was funny because it was funny.
I liked it. I thought it was really funny. But you were sitting
funny.
next to me wiping tears out of your eyes, and I was like, man, we're going to have to carry Martin out of here.
I still have a bruise on my shoulder from him slapping me so many times. Man, that guy was hilarious.
Yeah.
I'm not easy to laugh with comedians, but he was hilarious. Craig, what was his?
Craig Shoemaker was his name.
Yeah. Man, y'all heard of him? He was good.
Man. I know who he is.
He's going to. He was telling me that he's going to Harvick's deal later, and Harvick has one out in Bakersfield, a big charity deal. So he'll go out there and do that too. So that was just coincidental, but he was really funny. We kind of, I didn't say struck out, but we had a little bit of a down year last year. We had Sinbad, and we had like 4 good comedians in a row. Sinbad was funny. But then he got kind of weird at one point, and then he picked on me for about 30 minutes, and I didn't like that too much. But Craig Shoemaker was great.
Yeah, no, he was great.
But Martin, y'all have a pretty big function each year that a lot of folks come to. I think you see pretty much everybody in the industry over at your deal. Can you tell us a little bit about what all you work on?
Yeah, Catwalk for a Cause is our big charity event. Thank you.
Right.
Yeah, it's been an amazing event. I think this past year was our 7th year of doing it, and it's grown. I think the first year we had 40 people, and last year we had over 600 people. Florida Georgia Line came and played, which shows kind of just how far it's come. So it's amazing. I think the coolest part about it for us is we do a lot. A lot of our foundation focuses on children's pediatric cancer, and we actually have some kids from Levine's Children's Hospital in Charlotte that have fought or are fighting cancer that are actually in the fashion show, and it really, I think it really just, shows people what we're all about and what those kids are going through, and really gives them an opportunity to have a great time fighting through a really tough battle. So the night is really all about them, and everybody shows up to cheer for them, and it's really cool. And guys like Dale and a lot of the other drivers in this series have gave their time and walked and been a part of the show and just made it a huge hit. So it's been a great success, and we've been able to raise a lot of money, and just definitely really proud of what we've done with that show.
I see, absolutely. It's good. These guys do amazing things to help in the community. I see, Dale, I know you wear gloves and auction them off, and that's an opportunity to raise some money. And then, Martin, I see steering wheels that Sherry has that I think drivers auction off to raise money for charity as well. Is that right?
Yeah. September is Ovarian Cancer Awareness Month and Childhood Cancer Awareness Month, which, again, our foundation, those are the 2 things we focus on. So Sherry came up with this idea to have gold and teal steering wheels, and 29 NASCAR drivers have volunteered they actually have to buy their own steering wheel and race it, and then we auction it off, and all the proceeds go through our foundation. So
cool.
It's it's really unbelievable to see just how much drivers and just people in NASCAR in general are willing to help each other. And when it's for a good cause, we all come together. We'll run into each other and cuss each other out on the racetrack, and we compete, to tooth and nail. But when it comes to helping people for a good cause, we all come together. So it's definitely special.
That's awesome. We'll get back to that cussing in a minute. Let me ask you about another thing. So the next day, we saw each other in Springfield, Missouri at Bass Pro Shops, grand opening of this amazing place, the Wilderness Museum and Aquarium. Grand opening from Johnny Morris. And you guys like Bass Pro Shops? Anybody like to hunt? You got to check this out. It was really great. But we saw some cool stuff there, didn't we, guys?
Yeah, I mean it's kind of like a wonder of the world, wouldn't you say? It's incredible. They've been working on it 8 years. Martin knows a lot more about it than I do with his association with. He has a really close association with not only Bass Pro but Johnny. Him and Johnny are really tight. But I know they've been working on it for about 8 years. Johnny's changing everything over and over and over. And he put all his own money into it. And, I mean, when you go see this, which I know you guys will probably get your opportunity to go see it, it's a hell of a thing. I mean, it's hard to explain or put it into words, but basically I don't know, how would you explain it? It's a showcase of wildlife from freaking top to bottom.
Yeah, it is amazing.
A tour through there takes about 2 hours, wouldn't you say?
I would say at least. It's called the Wonders of Wildlife Museum, and it opened after probably about 10 years of construction. And it's a showcase of wildlife. All the wildlife from the land, fish from all different parts of the country and the world. And there's even historic artifacts, and there's bears from 1 million years ago, and I mean there's some crazy stuff in there, so it's really cool, and something you definitely have to see.
So it's such a big deal. 2 presidents were there. We had Carter and Bush.
George W.
George
were both there. Did you guys talk to them at all?
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
I think I need to hear this conversation after that.
All right, so I can't even tell this, but I was telling Marcus earlier, you think, a former president would think at a higher level than a normal person like me or you or Dale. So we're sitting there, we're in this room, there's probably 35 or so people in there, we're sitting there eating, having some food because we hadn't really eaten dinner yet. Well, George W. just comes over, sits down with us, and starts talking, like, just about normal things. And the conversation came up about racing, and his question to me was, what do you do when you have to go to the bathroom in that car? I'm like, I told him to shut up. I was like, you kidding me? Did you really just ask that question? So it was pretty funny, but what an awesome guy. Really neat to talk to him and hear his stories.
That's
and just
great.
So down to earth, it was amazing.
Fantastic.
Yeah, I agree. He's pretty down to earth. He's easy to talk to.
That's cool.
Carter was there, and he's in conservation. I didn't really know how much he's done for this country in conservation, but they talked about all that through that whole. They had a kind of a long presentation at the end of the evening that showcased a lot of what Johnny Morris has done, but it also gave other guys opportunities to speak and tell some stories about some of the folks in this country and in the history of this country that have done a lot for conservation. And Carter was one of the presidents that was credited with doing the most, probably, as any president. So that was a lot of fun to learn about, and a lot of proud folks there. There's an incredible, I think the aquarium part of it is the most impressive part. There's a lot of live, fish and so forth in these giant aquariums. So
they didn't have a whale, but they had just about everything else.
Yeah.
Seemed like.
Yeah, and I'm sure that, it's only a matter of time before Johnny figures out a way to get a whale in there.
That's right. That's right. All right, I think, Jose, are you out there somewhere?
Yeah, we're right down here.
There
we
he
got
is.
some fan
all right,
questions
Jose, you got
here.
a question for us?
Yeah, we do. We've got Pauline here all the way from Concord, just right down the road. That's
all right.
Concord, not Concord.
I'm from Concord.
Concord.
Yeah.
There you go. So, Pauline, who is your question for, and what is your question?
For Dale. Hi, Dale. Are you looking forward to being a commentator next year?
Yeah, I am actually looking forward to being a commentator next year. It's going to be a lot of fun.
It's going to be cool.
I get a job, and it's the first job I'll have in 20 years. So I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be fun. I get to stay at the racetrack, get to continue to be involved in the track and being around the sport. And it'll be interesting to see how it all works out.
That will be cool.
Good luck.
I'm looking forward to that myself.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be really neat to see.
It's either gonna work out and I'll be there for 20 years, or they're gonna kick me out after a couple of months. I'm not sure which one. They're gonna get rid of me real quick, or I'll stick around for a while.
There you go. Let me ask some racing questions. You guys have been on the track already, and you know we did some things with the track. They call it a grip strip or the sticky stuff or what have you. And I know I get differing opinions sometimes. I'll get text messages or phone calls say, "What the heck are you guys doing now?" But I haven't asked you yet. What do you guys think of the track so far?
I think it's last time we were here, I thought it put on a good show. I thought it was a lot of fun, a lot of fun to race on. Some different grooves than we typically could run here. I'd like to see it in the fourth groove as well. Just a little tip.
Took the words out of my mouth, man.
So
they're going to put some more on the track tonight.
More in fourth.
Taking notes.
Right. They're going to put some more down tonight, so you can tell them to put a little bit higher.
A little bit higher. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
There you
Why
go.
not?
This is the secret of how we get the track just right.
This is how it works. We
Yeah.
just
We're
sit
gonna-
around and shoot the crap.
we're gonna have
Make
drivers.
decisions.
We're gonna have drivers texting us tonight, not real happy about.
Oh
that,
man, I love it. I'll get some serious.
I think that I think that you're right. I think that if you did put it a little bit higher, we would run there and use it. You want to send that thing. You want to send the car off in there pretty hard, but you got to be careful not to slip too far up and get out of that stuff. If you put it a little bit higher, we'll just keep on digging and.
Yeah.
I think it's eventually wears off. It's a moving target, so where you need to be and where you want to find that grip is always kind of changing throughout the race. But I think that these cars and the length of our race will probably wear that top groove out pretty good tomorrow, and a lot of guys will start creeping around the bottom maybe. I think that happened. Didn't that happen in the last race?
Yeah, it definitely did. But I mean, I think it's cool that the track changes throughout the race quite a bit as well. So I don't know. I mean,
it's really done. It does change a lot. So, and I like that. I think it's fun to kind of have to search around.
It was good last time.
Me and you, I think me and Martin are one of the few drivers that are really, really good at looking around the racetrack to find speed. And he can, we both kind of search all over the corner and move around. A lot of guys aren't really. I don't know. They just don't do it. They kind of get stuck in one
Find
mode.
the line and stay in it.
Yeah, they kind of have to be told where guys are running. They want to go looking for it.
Well, I think we got another fan question from Jose out there, right?
We're right down
Yeah.
here.
There he is.
And by the way, in talking with the fans on your commentating skills, based off your Twitter feed, you're going to be fine. You're going to do great. So we got Stan here. Stan, question for Dale. What do you got?
Dale, it was announced that you were going to be in a car and do some races next year.
What's that?
You were going to be in a car, do some races next year. How many races will you do, and can you tell us?
Yeah, I right now I got one Xfinity race, but we're trying to do some deals to run some more. We got a couple races not sponsored on the 7 car, Algar, and so I'll do a race, and that sponsor will sponsor that race, and then maybe sponsor the rest of Algar's car to get the money in there. So that's why I run those races in Xfinity Series, is to help fill out the sponsors on the other cars, and they'll let me do 5, right? That's the rule.
Yeah, we'll let you do 5.
So 5 is the most I can do. So I'm good for 5. I'll probably want to race a little bit next year, whether I like it or whether I think I want to now or not. I'll probably end up wanting to get out there and do it.
Yeah,
I like it. Well, Stan's
right.
good with 5.
I think they're okay with it.
Thank you.
All right, cool. Let me ask you this, Martin. Have you got the tape worked out on your spoiler for this race tomorrow?
No, we decided to leave it off.
I was just curious. Is that something you normally have on there?
No. That's only the 24 car that has that.
Oh, right. Oh, yeah. What happened with that? It was like something that came up on Twitter, wasn't it? That was found?
NASCAR won't admit it, but I think that was a discovery by NASCAR Reddit.
Reddit, yeah.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, so they sort of brought that to everyone's attention, and NASCAR felt like they had to react to it, and they did. So I think
some
that's
opinions.
interesting. I mean, it's only a matter of time before we go in that direction to where, you know, the court of public opinion starts to really rule what happens on the racetrack. That opens up a giant can of worms that now fans, anybody in this crowd, can tweet a picture next Tuesday or Wednesday about a race car that they see something they don't like. And that could develop into a penalty for that team. So that's what happened this past week. That opens up a giant can of worms. I don't think it's a terrible thing. I think it's just another avenue to keep everybody honest and keep the playing field pretty level.
Yeah.
Now,
as level as possible.
I heard Tony Stewart say last week on a radio show, he said, if you're not cheating, you're not trying. I mean, any racers out there?
Some people.
You racers know if you're not. I mean, I don't know. I never met a crew chief who had anything wrong with the car, but I'm pretty sure no car actually is totally squared up. What do you guys think about that?
If anybody's legally running in the back, I mean that's the way it is.
Insider information.
You got to push it.
I think the proper term is working in the gray area.
Working in the gray area.
Ingenuity, creativity, all that kind of good stuff.
That's right.
Yeah.
I mean, that's been around forever.
Yeah.
And it always will be. It's getting harder and harder for these teams to work in that gray area. It takes some really, really smart guys to find any kind of advantage in the rule book the way it is written today. So it's a bit, it's impressive.
Yeah.
What some of these guys will do.
I mean
I would have never thought to, have the tape flapping on the spoiler to get downforce. I would have think, man, get that off my car, tape flapping. I don't want tape flapping. But, these guys in these wind tunnels and these engineers, they figure that stuff out. And that little tiny advantage is worth a ton on the racetrack.
It's amazing.
You wouldn't think so, but it is.
It's amazing to think that it would be.
I know it. It's hard to believe.
It really is. Let me ask you guys another controversial question. The Logano missing practice today, it happened because he didn't get through tech.
Yeah.
Right? And some people said, well, he knows the penalty if they don't get through tech, so that's what happens. What do you guys think about that?
I know what Dale thinks about it.
I kind of heard something about it.
We missed 30 minutes today of practice for, I think we failed 3 times before the race last week. So, it's one of those things. I think that NASCAR's trying to keep us from failing before the race, to speed the process up. But at the same time, it's not like we go up there and try to fail. So they have to, do on their side, they have to try to punish us. And I'll tell you right now, missing final practice, whether it's 20 minutes or all of it, is a big deal. So obviously, guys try really hard not to miss, not to fail those inspections before the race, because it's a huge deal to miss that practice. That's the most important laps on the track that you make all weekend long, is that last hour of practice or last 30 minutes of practice. That's the closest the track ever is to what we end up racing on Sunday. So it's a huge deal. I don't know if it's right or wrong, but that's the rule, and that's how we play the game.
The conversation that I was having, and I'd like to know your opinion on this, is I think that it's great to take practice time away.
Sure.
And I believe in strict and stern governing and punishment when you break the rules. But I felt like it looked stupid to make him sit on pit road the whole time.
Oh, I agree. Yeah.
I felt like that.
Crazy.
What's wrong with sitting in the garage?
Yeah, put a car cover on the car.
Right.
I think that NASCAR doesn't want the team to be able to work on the car during this time.
Right.
So they're taking practice time away, and they don't want them to work on the car. They do have teammates out on the racetrack practicing, learning.
Sure.
There are things the team could do that actually probably could make the car better during that period of time. So I get that they don't want the car to be worked on, but it just looks silly as hell to put him out there in timeout. I never like that, whether it's 15 minutes, 30 minutes, or the whole practice. I do think that it's great. It sucks to take away practice, and it hurts because Martin's right. That's the perfect time to practice. That's the practice that you want to run. Is that final practice, because it is as close to the racetrack that you're going to race on. So that was penalty enough, trust me. that he doesn't get to run those laps and get to try to figure out his car. That is a huge disadvantage for him. But to make him sit out there on pit road, I just think's silly looking.
Yeah, insult to injury almost.
Yeah, I did like the picture that Joey tweeted of
his
wife reaching up like a jail visit to his car. That was pretty funny.
I had to text Joey before that practice to ask him if it was true that they were going to make him sit on pit road, because I just could not believe that in my brain that was what was going to happen.
It does sound like timeout. You're
I
right.
told him to take his phone and take a fan vision with him, so that he'd have something to do while he was out there. Hope he did, because every time that I have to go out there for 15 or 30 minutes and wait, having your phone or that fan vision makes the time go by.
Yep. So let me ask you guys a question. If your car, if you miss inspection on a given weekend, and it triggers, man, I'm going to lose some practice next weekend. At what point do you guys talk to your crew chief and say, hey, man, make sure we don't miss any more? Or do you do that at all?
I don't.
I wouldn't either. I mean,
so
the drivers will never get. The driver is never going. And Martin, you can back me up or agree or disagree, but the driver's never going to go, man, y'all got to get this right. I'm tired of sitting out there on pit road. The drivers are never going to talk to their team that way or talk to their crew chief that way.
Well, you aren't.
No.
And you aren't. Somebody will.
I don't want to. I don't think that's a very smart driver.
Sure.
To be pointing fingers at the crew.
Right.
The crew chief and saying, "What are you doing?" That's not how you work as a team.
We need to save our cussings of our crew chiefs for when a car's not handling right.
Yeah. We cuss them enough on the track.
Yeah, or they make a dumb decision on pit road or something like that. Not for inspection. That's their deal.
And especially not for them trying to get everything they can. Like Martin's talking about working that gray area. You got to get everything you can. You're not going to be able to go out there and win that race tomorrow unless you're pushing every measurement to the max. Rear toe, skew, all those things have to be right on that borderline. And you're not going to be fast. I mean, it's a matter of thousandths of a second out there. So you don't want to discourage your crew or your crew chief from trying to get everything he can get.
But you really want that last practice. And I mean, do you talk about it?
I also want to be fast, and I want a car that's going to be fast. So if he feels like he's got to be aggressive, especially in the playoffs, if a team's in the playoffs, I know Joey's not, but if he's got to be aggressive, this is the time to be aggressive.
Sure.
We got it. It's sort of a double-edged sword or a risk versus reward. They missed some practice, and that's a shame. But I'm not going to discourage my crew from coming back as strong the next week and being as aggressive in that tech line as they were this past week.
Yeah, I got you. I think it's amazing. One of the things that I watch a lot as a fan is the connection between the driver and the crew chief. I think it's just amazing over the years how this sport has really rewarded not only the people that are the great engineers and the people with the great ingenuity, but that relationship has been special. Back to Petty and Inman, and I think your dad and Richard Childress had that connection, and Ray and Jeff. And it's just amazing how that's happened over the years, and now Jimmy and Chad have been a great connection over the years. But how important is that connection for you guys with your crew chiefs, other guys on your crew, your team owner? What is that for you that makes the cars and you go faster and finish better?
Well, I think it's still a huge part of the sport. I mean, no matter how much technology you have, no matter how smart your crew chief is, or how good your cars are or engines or whatever, there's still that human element of communication and staying ahead of the racetrack and making the right decisions at the right times. You can have all the info in the world and be the smartest guy out there, and if you're not on the same page with your crew chief, or driver and crew chief are on the same page, you can for sure get yourself lost. You can get out there somewhere where the buses don't run. So
yeah,
it's it's not hard. This stuff is so technical, but there's still that old school racing part of it where the tracks change and the weather changes and they air pressure and these kind of things that you really can't punch into a computer and it spits out the answer. So there's still a lot of that going on. And for me personally, the last couple of years with Cole, my crew chief, who by the way is Canadian, not far from here.
It's a big Canadian contingent here.
He, him and I just, he grew up racing, driving cars, and went to engineering school and took that path. But we have similar backgrounds. We raced with our dads. We have a similar approach. We have a similar personality. So I think for us, we mesh really, really well, and we approach racing the same way. And a lot of the times, honestly, we think the same. He's way smarter than I am, but at the same time, when we go to the racetrack, we approach things the same way, and that seems to work for us.
Cool. All right.
Yeah, I agree.
guys?
I think the communication has got to be important. And me, I like to have a really close relationship with the guys I work with. I'm sure Martin's the same way. You go out of your way during the week when you're not at the racetrack and when you're not, at the shop. You go out of your way to spend time with these guys. Y'all go to dinner. You have team functions. You go play top golf, whatever the hell, and try to do things together. And so you get to know each other outside of this, outside of the racetrack, and you build those relationships. Those guys, you'll all go to war with each other.
Yeah.
In those moments when you really got to dig deep. If you build those relationships and you know what's going on with them, their families, whether they're having a child, just had a child, or whatever, you want to know what's going on in their lives. That means the world to those guys to have that relationship.
Great.
Yeah.
Amy, we got another guest who's getting ready to join us, right?
We do. I think we want to hear him weigh in on this question too. What do you say we welcome Aric Almirola out here?
All right, Aric.
Hey,
all right,
get out of here. There's a little room for you on this couch over here.
Did you bring the bacon? Good to see you, man.
They really gonna put us 3 wide?
Hey, welcome to NASCAR Trackside Live. Have a seat. Get comfy.
All
right.
right.
Left you a spot in the middle on purpose.
Good to have you here, man.
It's a little wider than I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be a little closer than this.
We're all friends.
We are.
Yeah. How's it going?
Good.
Good.
Yeah, it's going all right.
All right. We just been talking about crew chiefs, about penalties and tape.
Keep penalizing them.
Yeah, there you go. All right.
So, where are you going to drive next year?
If I know.
Dale's just working on his commentator.
Start off with the big one right there.
Here we might get the answer.
There you go. You never know. It's the beginning of silly season almost, right?
This is where all the hard questions get asked.
I see
on
that.
This stage.
I see that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We could ask you about your family and stuff. But
You could. That would be a softball for me. Yeah.
How's the car for tomorrow?
Car's not very good. We've been struggling for speed this weekend for sure. So it's difficult. Yeah, when you unload, we have not been penalized. We've not missed any practice. However, we don't have any speed, so maybe there's some correlation there.
Is your car illegal?
No, my car is legal beaver. We are
legal beaver.
We are bone stock, man. We're ready to go race. So
with that said, though, these last several weeks, me and you were talking a couple weeks ago about performance and running well and working hard. And since that conversation, I've noticed that the last couple of weeks, y'all have had a little bit of uptick in performance.
We have. Yeah, we have. Our cars have run a little bit better. Michigan, we ran good. I ran around you a lot, so that was fun. But last weekend in Chicago, we had a few runs where I thought we were decent, and then Martin blew by me, going 8 mile an hour faster than I was. So we.
Do you ever just want to just side swipe him when you see him come up in your rearview mirror?
I have one time, and he gave me the finger for 2 laps at Dover. So I haven't done that again.
Yeah. But, I would just think, especially if he laps you one time, but you see him coming again.
Yeah.
Lay it over there.
I think when I have a car capable of running up front and running good, I'll be the first guy to put a tire mark on his door number. But right now, we're just we're trying to do the best we can, and we're not running as good as we need to be. So it doesn't do me any good to hold up Martin or anybody else that's coming. But we still have a lot to race for. We've got 9 more weeks to go out and do the best we can. And like I said, last weekend I thought there was moments in the race when I thought we were a top 15-ish car, which is really respectable for our race team where we're at right now. And then we kind of lost the handle of it the last few runs of the race. But this weekend, unfortunately, we've unloaded and been slow, and we have changed everything except the steering wheel, and still slow. So just struggling to find speed this weekend.
Wow.
They do make different steering wheels.
They do. I know.
You could try different steering
and
wheels.
I feel
they make smaller ones and they're
bigger
really,
ones.
really big
I know
ones.
that'd be
Teal
the next one to
ones.
change. Yeah.
Yeah, you can run one of Sherry's.
That's right.
Yeah.
We
that's right.
actually don't. And I'm embarrassed that we don't. We do a
We
lot.
can change
with,
that right
We do
here.
a lot with the Martin Truex Jr. Foundation.
We can make it happen.
We've been
You
big
just gotta-
supporters
you-
of the
yeah.
cat. Hey, hush! All right, I'm talking.
You have to put $60 down.
They're not all here to see you.
Are you sure?
I was gonna help you and tell you how you can get your steering wheel.
Well, I'm telling you that we support the Martin Truex Jr. Foundation. We go to the catwalk for a cause, and we love everything about it. But when we brought up the idea, our sponsors said, no, we've got 2 in-cars cameras during that month, and we want it to be a Smithfield wheel. So we didn't get one.
Gotcha.
But,
Oh,
yeah.
that makes a lot of sense.
But
The Smithfield wheel is very good looking.
it is. It's blue,
Yeah.
and it's got bacon grease dripping off of it. And so,
Big fan of bacon
yeah.
grease.
Me too.
Yes.
Me too.
That you're actually the reason I'm going to run a red wheel at Homestead, and that's the reason because I went to Max Pappas and said,
Yeah.
I was talking about your wheel, and I was like, that's the coolest thing. I said, can I have a different colored wheel? I've always had a black wheel, and I just didn't know you could have anything but black.
I got a blue one.
That's
It's
hilarious.
really-
It's blue suede, man.
It's really good.
It's
a good
really
looking
nice.
wheel. I'm very
It is.
That's
envious.
good to know.
Yep.
So you went to Max and said,
I went to
I
Max
saw
who
Eric's
makes
steering
the
wheel.
wheels, and I said, the blue wheel is a badass wheel. Can you make a red wheel for my last race? So he's going to make one.
That's fantastic. That's great. You know, so we've got, I know you guys, what's it like? We've got a few more races in your last few races of your career. What's it like for you guys racing with Dale Jr.? You just brought that up, and I hadn't really thought to ask it, but Aric and Martin, what's it like for you guys racing with this guy in his last season? And what are you thinking about that as you get into the last few races of the season?
Oh, all right. I don't think about it when I'm on the racetrack with him. I think about it, afterwards or whatever. But I haven't been around as long as Martin and Dale has. But just having the opportunity to race against him and knowing the whole background of it, I probably wouldn't be here where I'm at today without him. He gave me the opportunity to go run an Xfinity car. Yeah.
All right.
So having that opportunity from him. And, when Richard called me in 2012 and asked me to come drive his car, the very first phone call I had to make was to him because I was still actually contractually obligated to race for him the next year. So I called him, talked to Kelly, and they said, yeah, that's the whole reason of our program is to let guys like you have the opportunity. So to have this opportunity is largely because of Dale Jr. So to have that opportunity to race with him and to see him on his way out is really cool. And it's fun, and unfortunately, we've been racing around each other quite a bit the last few weeks, but it's been for like 18th or 20th. So maybe we'll race each other for a top 10 next week.
There you go.
It's not going to be this week. You might run top 10 tomorrow, but we got a long way to go.
Yeah.
But it's been fun. I've enjoyed it, but like I said, during the race, I don't think that much of it. I just think there's that 88 car. I want to go past him.
How about you, Martin?
Yeah, I think about a lot of things when I see Dale on the track now.
What do you think?
But
I don't really want to know.
I can't tell you what I think, but honestly, it's been kind of crazy to know that you're retiring this year. I have so much respect for you as a person, but mostly as a friend. And along the same lines as Aric, there's a really, really good chance I would not be sitting here right now if it wasn't for Dale. He hired me, and the cool part is there's so many people in this garage that could say the same thing.
How cool is that? That's awesome.
So cool
Yeah.
that you've given so much to this sport and so many opportunities to so many people. I
That's
want to
awesome.
thank you for that. But it's hell yeah. So it's very cool. We're definitely going to be sad to see him go. I hope. And I really feel like he's probably going to win Talladega this year.
I think so too.
He's
Y'all want to help?
I'll help. I'll push you all day, bro.
I'm gonna need a little help.
There you go.
But
That's cool.
it's crazy to think how fast time has gone by. Time flies. It goes by so fast
It
when we're doing
does.
this. But being a friend and being able to race with Dale since '03 because he brought me down and gave me the opportunity has been awesome, and I hope he finishes off his last season strong. That's most important.
That's awesome. That's awesome. All right. Jose, I think you got something for us.
That's right. Thank you guys so much for joining us. And Aric Almirola, you're going to stick around for a few more questions with us. How about a big round of applause, please, for Mr. Dale Earnhardt Jr., Martin Truex Jr., and of course, Aric Almirola and I got a chance to catch up a little earlier and talk about Cuban food. And it was awesome because we talked about our roots. Where do we come from? And coming up this Wednesday on Race Hub, a very, very special edition with Aric Almirola going home to Cuba. Let's take a little look.
I'm different. Why am I different? I want to go to Cuba and see who I am and how I got to be a Cuban American who drives in NASCAR. I've got an incredible opportunity to trace the roots of my family. And I am who I am because in 1966, Abuelo and Abuela got on an airplane and left Havana, Cuba, and never looked back.
Back to NASCAR Trackside Live. Are y'all having a good time here in prime time? We still got lots more show for you. And, of course, after that, Speedway Children's Charity Auction, ton of stuff. But still sticking with us, Aric Almirola is going to hang out with us some. And I think he's got a few more things to throw out. If you got a few things for the fans out here, what do you think? You guys want something cool? Here, let me help you out. Let's go out here. Let's see, I got a little autograph. Let me see, there's a kid right there, a little kid right there. Oh, there you go. Nice shot. I like that. Always seeing that.
Cool. You guys are a great crowd.
Yeah, I know. Really great crowd.
Yeah, this is great.
You do have a good crowd.
We do, man. It's good fun.
Well, look at that. You know what? Maybe slide one over a little bit. There we go.
It feels so good out here. What a night. What a night to hang out at New Hampshire Motor Speedway.
I feel like royalty. I just slid over into Dale Jr.'s seat.
Is it warm? Is it a warm spot?
It is.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So what does that make me in Martin Truex Jr.'s seat? I don't know. Is that
He's cold as ice, man.
Yeah.
He's cold.
I'm not going there.
Yes. So
what's happening?
So talk a little bit about, we were talking about food, right? And
we were.
Going back to Cuba, getting a chance to
Speaking of which, your racetracks, man, your racetracks are up in the food game.
Oh, we're trying, man. We're trying to up the food game.
I've seen all the stuff. I've seen the stuff at Charlotte, your menu and stuff. It's awesome.
Thank you.
Love it.
Thank you. We've got a huge, the meatball tornado here in New Hampshire, and big time meatballs with this dough crust, like cone almost. It's pretty epic.
Yeah, they've got a taste of the speedways over there on the track where they have a menu item from every single SMI track. Here,
oh, nice.
You could try everything.
Lots of bacon over there, I guarantee.
Bacon. Bacon. We've got chocolate covered bacon. We've got bacon-topped fried dough. You get the fried dough, you put the bacon on top, a little chocolate and maple syrup. It's incredible. Oh, yeah.
That's good stuff.
So tell us about...
They don't have picadillo at any of their tracks. We got to work on that.
I think we need to work on. We'll make that happen.
We got to make that happen.
Marcus and I can do that.
You guys will have to help. I like that. Whatever it is. I don't know.
We'll talk a little bit about it, because that was one of the cool things we talked about was...
It was.
Going back to Cuba, getting to eat food, see family, and connect again with the roots of where you came from, your history.
Yeah, it was really cool. So I got to go about a month ago. I got to go back to Cuba. I flew direct from Charlotte to Havana, and got to spend a week in Cuba and sort of retrace my family's history.
Wow, how cool was that?
It was amazing.
I bet so.
It was so cool. You know, my dad and his parents came over from Cuba in 1966. They flew from Havana to Miami. So to have that opportunity for me to go back, I was the first one of the Almirolas to go back and sort of retrace and go see where my dad grew up and where my grandparents grew up. So that was amazing. It was very moving for me. I went and saw about 35 of the Almirola family members that I'd never met before.
Wow.
So I have blood relatives down there that I've never met until this year, and so it was really neat to go down there and kind of see what they're faced with and the challenges that they deal with on a regular basis. And to think that you know, we flew back home, and I told my wife, it's crazy to think, like, those people they're my family. And the things that they worry about on a daily basis are completely different than what I worry about living here in a first world country in America. You know, like I get upset when the Wi-Fi on the airplane doesn't work, right?
Yes.
Like they're worried about like real problems. Like
So
they're
were
worried
you
about when they
there?
run out of
Everything
soap.
was everything normal, like the hurricanes hadn't come through, and it was
Right,
just,
yeah. So I went there before the hurricanes had come through.
And so when people talk about visiting Cuba, the first thing I think about is the cars.
Yeah.
You know, you see pictures of the cars.
It's incredible. I mean,
What's
they are
it like?
stuck in time. Like, they are so stuck in time. It is, when you get off the airplane, it is the 1950s.
Wow.
I mean, I drove around in a 1956 Ford Fairlane.
Oh, nice car.
Most of the time I was
Nice,
there.
yeah.
I mean, every car you see on the streets is either imported from Europe, and it's kind of new, or if it's an American-made car, it is mid-50s to as early as 1960, and that's it.
Those are good years.
That's it.
Yeah.
They stopped getting vehicles. The last year they got vehicles from America was 1960.
Now, are they stock or are they
No,
modified?
Yeah, so they obviously putting thousands and thousands of miles on vehicles year after year from the 1950s
Sure.
was, you know, takes a toll on them.
Right.
So there's nothing original about most of the cars down there. They have to be creative.
Yeah.
Because they can't just call up their local Chevy dealership or Ford dealership or, you know, whatever else, Oldsmobile dealership that they got down there.
Yeah.
And get parts. So
Sure.
Cubans are just natural improvisers.
Creative
They're
thinking
creative and they have to
innovative.
improvise because, you know, they take scrap parts and pieces and rebuild something to make it run.
That's
great. I saw a guy that had taken an old tractor, and I was over looking at the house that my grandparents grew up in just outside of Havana, and a guy took an old tractor and took in and welded the body of a Jeep to it. And
Oh,
so
wow.
he turned a tractor. There's one person that sits in the middle and drives the tractor, and then he's got a captain's seat, and a bench seat in the back.
Wow.
On a tractor.
That is innovative.
It is. So it's
You know,
pretty-
talking about, look at these guys. Happy trails.
Yeah.
You know, talking about cars,
Okay, we heard you.
I know. So up on the corner here, if you take a left out of the main entrance, you'll see.
Hey, Marcus, if you didn't know, that guy right there, he's leaving.
Oh, is he going?
Yeah, he
I
just
didn't
wanted to-
realize that.
yeah, he
Okay, thank you for letting me know. So there's a museum up on the Speedway property, just up the road on the corner, and it is an amazing museum celebrating racing in New England. A guy named Dick Bergeron, who we all know, has spearheaded this and put it together. I'll tell you what, if y'all have not gone up to this museum yet, it is unbelievable. I had a chance to go up there today and get a little tour from Dick Bergeron, and I was blown away with the cars that are there. There's every type of racing that has happened here in New England is represented over there in the museum, and it's just it's a must-go kind of place.
I love seeing old cars and sort of the history, and when you step off the airplane in Havana, you're living history, man. You have no choice. I mean,
That's cool.
They're stuck 50 years ago, and it's really neat to go see that.
Awesome. All right, we got last question coming up. Amy, I think you should ask the last question. I know you're ready to
I
go.
get to ask the last question?
Hold on, before you ask.
Oh.
So we talked a lot about Cuba. I got to tell you, if you're not doing anything Wednesday night, check out Fox Sports 1. The camera crew that came and followed me on my trip to Havana is going to show the 15-minute long documentary. So we've 72 hours.
Oh, great.
And they broke all that down into a 15-minute video.
Have you seen it yet? Have you had a chance to preview it?
I have. I've seen it.
I'm excited.
It's amazing. It's going to make...
oh, look at that. That's sweet.
It's going to make a lot of people in my family cry. That's for sure.
I can't wait to see that.
Yeah.
That's
It
great.
looks-
This
it
Wednesday
looks
on
beautiful.
FS1. This Wednesday.
This
FS1.
Wednesday night.
Okay.
I think this Wednesday at
6 p.m.
6 p.m.
Eastern.
This Wednesday at 6 p.m. on FS1.
Tune in.
Tune in, man.
All right,
Yeah.
we'll do it.
I heard you actually met some family members you've never met before. I saw
did.
you riding around in a really awesome car. How's that
Yeah.
compared to a race car? Did you race one of those
a lot
things around
slower.
the track?
It was a lot slower. No power steering, but it was fun. It was. I was quite surprised, but I actually came across several people that had NASCAR, shirts on.
Yeah, I saw you hug a guy
one
in there
One
with a
guy had
NASCAR
a
shirt
Ford
on.
racing hat on, so it was neat, and they love their cars down there. I mean, that their car is the prized possession, because if you graduate from college down there, school is free. The government pays it's free to go to school, but I have an aunt that is a human resource person at the hospital in Havana. She makes $45 a month.
Wow.
As a HR lady at the hospital. Now, a taxi driver driving one of those classic cars makes about $35 an hour taking tourists around to sightsee. So cars are prized possessions down there, and they take cars and pass them down generation to generation to generation, and the siblings actually fight over who gets the car that day, so they can go and pick up tourists when they come in off the cruise ships or off the airplanes to give them taxi rides around. So because there's so much money to be made by driving a car. So cars are a big deal in Cuba.
So interesting. I can't wait to watch that.
Yeah.
I'm really looking forward to it. It looks beautiful, and you were there for so long. I'm sure there's so much more we're not even going to get to see.
A lot of
That's
footage.
really cool.
So last question. All right, give it to me.
I think you want to
Another
do
last
one more.
question?
You want to do one more? Are we good?
Yeah.
I think we've got to wrap this up. But come on up here. Let's
All
do
right,
a
I'm done.
final
All right,
goodbye
we're
here.
wrapping up. Perfect.
Let's walk out here on the stage and say thank you to all these fans for coming out.
I don't think my
A
mic
big
will make
thank
it.
you to Aric Almirola.
Thank you,
Come on
Aric.
out here.
All right.
Thank you guys so much for sticking around, for
Appreciate
coming out
you
to New
guys very
Hampshire
much for
Motor
being
Speedway.
here.